Welcome to the FIFA World Cup 2026 Follow My Team simulation. For this simulation, I'm going to take Argentina as they are the last World Cup champions of Qatar 2022. I'm going to take a fan spectator that is going to be traveling from Argentina to the respective game cities where Argentina is going to play. We're only going to do the group stage match only. So there's going to be 3 games that Argentina is going to be playing. And we're going to find this fan the airfare from origin to the cities, within the cities, and then back to origin. We're going to find the hotels where this person is going to stay. It's going to be for one person only. And then we're going to find the tickets for the matches where this person is going to get the tickets. Now, for the tickets, I'm going to be using StubHub, which I don't want to use because these prices are not realistic. But I just need to find some sort of pricing number just to get an idea and eyeball it. This site is really good at the information it provides. It was able to kind of put everything together, and you get an eyeball view or overview of everything that's happening. I tried to do this with the official website, the FIFA World Cup website, but the ticketing portal is completely locked down, and it's extremely hard to just go in there and browse offerings, especially the single ticket matches, due to the lottery phase that they're doing. So you can't just go in there and look for tickets. They have scheduled timings. You might end up in some sort of queue and spending 3 hours waiting just to get in. So it's not very convenient to do the simulation there. But eventually, I think they just will open this thing up to the public during the live sales further closer to the tournament. But they do have a hospitality package section where you can find tickets, but it's bundled with a hospitality, and you can find some pricing there. But I'm not going to go through there because it's more expensive offerings, and I want to keep this down to a budget. So we're not going to do it through the official site. We're going to have to do it with this third-party site called StubHub, and we can just kind of get an eyeball of numbers. I don't recommend getting tickets on this site because I don't even know if they have any tickets. From what I understand, no one has tickets right now. They don't exist. There's a new way of doing tickets for this World Cup, so it's a lot harder to actually have a ticket, even if you purchased it. So let's just check our breakdown sheet. So again, we're going to find air travel for multiple cities for one person. We're going to find the hotels in the cities for Argentina, which are the first match is on June 16th with Algeria and Kansas City, June 22nd with Austria in Arlington, Texas, and then June 27th with Jordan, also in Arlington, Texas. And then we're going to get prices for that. And then we're going to get prices for each of the matches. All right. And then we're going to get that grand total that we can just kind of estimate what, based on this simulation, and get an understanding of a number. This simulation does not include any transportation between airports, between hotels, between matches, and it does not include any other purchases like food and beverages. That's all taken out of the simulation. All right, so this is just basic raw 3-pillar travel package. So let's begin with air travel. Let's get this person out of Argentina and into the first match city. So flights. I'm going to be using Expedia.com as a general travel agency. And I'm going to do a multi-city search, one traveler economy, and the first flight. This person is going to be leaving from Buenos Aires. And again, they have to be there before June 16th, Kansas City. Okay. So because the flight, I think, is long, more than 10 hours, we're going to check June. If the match is on 16th, June 16th, let's give us some time and let's travel on the 14th to arrive on the 15th. And then the match is on the 16th. So we'll be departing Buenos Aires on the 14th and then arriving on the 15th. For flight number 2, we need to leave Kansas City. And we need to travel. We have to fly to Arlington, Texas for game 2 on June 22nd. So there's some time between the 16th and the 22nd. So Arlington, Texas. And now the question is, do we stay more in Kansas or we leave right away and go to Arlington? Now that we have 2 games in Arlington, Texas at the AT&T Stadium. We have a lot of time in Texas, so let's stay a little bit longer in Kansas City and maybe do some sightseeing. So the second game is on the 22nd. Let's leave. Let's stay the 17th, 18th, 19th, and then we'll leave on the 20th from Kansas City. And then we have the 21st, and then the second game is on the 22nd for Argentina versus Austria. Now we need to add the third flight, which is the returning back to Buenos Aires, and we're going to be leaving this time from Arlington, Texas, back to Buenos Aires. And since the last game is on the 27th, we can leave on the 28th. Okay. So there you go. Those are the 3 flights we simulated for the group stage. All right. So 1 traveler economy, flight number 1, Buenos Aires to Kansas City, June 14th. Flight number 2, Kansas City to Arlington, Texas, June 20th. And then final flight back to Buenos Aires, Arlington, Texas to Buenos Aires, June 28th. So let's do a search. Let's see what we get. All right. Start getting some results. And I'm seeing 1 stop, 2 stops. And what it looks like here, that the 2-stop option is much cheaper than the other flights. So $2,470 is the cheapest bundle. Otherwise, it just skyrockets to $6,000, $5,000, $6,000. So we're going to stick with this top recommended section here. This is LATAM Airlines, Buenos Aires to Kansas City. And there are 3 options we can select from. This flight is 18 hours. Like I said, it's a long flight, so you're going to need an extra day just to kind of relax. It leaves at 7:35 in the morning, 7:45 in the morning, but it gets there super late at 11:55 p.m. And there's a 4th option, which leaves at 3:45 p.m. from Buenos Aires and arrives at 11 a.m. in Kansas City, which is a little bit more doable. You can check in at 3. It's a little bit longer. It's 21 hours with 2 stops. Everything is 2 stops anyways. But it's a little bit more expensive at $2,711. But you arrive at a decent time. So let's just go with the 11 a.m. arrival in Kansas City. So $2,711. And then this is what you get. You get cabin is economy. You get carry-on bag is included, but you have to pay for the first checked bag, which is going to cost you between $70 to $130, which we're going to have to add to the total. For the grand total for the airfare. So let's select this one for the first flight. And let's go to our flight number 2, which is going to be Kansas City to Arlington, Texas. And here we have a bunch of flights that do not have any additional fees. And because we have time between Kansas and Arlington, Texas, we can just select the 1:45 p.m. leaving Kansas and arrives at 7 p.m. in the afternoon. That's a 5-hour flight from Kansas to Texas. So it arrives within that day, which is June 20th. So let's just select the first one. Again, carry-on bag included. First checked bag is between 70 to 130. So another 130. We're going to take the highest number just to be safe. So that's $130 for both. 130 plus 130, and then the third flight would probably be the same price. So this is the last flight, which is back to Buenos Aires, and this flight is the only one available, which is also included in the bundle, which they don't add any other fees for the flight. So this one leaves at 6:37 p.m. from Dallas, and then arrives back in Buenos Aires at 9:45. So let's select that one. And then again, carry-on bag is included. And then the first check bag is $130. So we're going to have to add all those 3 bags to the final price. So let's get our price summary. And what do we got here? Okay, trip total. So it's $2,777, including the taxes, fees, and charges. And now we have to add the $390 of bags to the, let's just round the $2,777 plus $390, which leaves us at $3,161 for the airfare for the 3 flights. Buenos Aires, Kansas, Dallas, Buenos Aires. So $3,167. This includes bag fee. All right. So that's the first pillar. So we get an understanding of pricing for the air travel. And now let's leave this. The flight summary up, and we can start building the hotels. Let's go to stays. First city is going to be Kansas City. So Kansas City, and we need a hotel from the 15th till the 20th. Let me just double check. Right. So this is the first flight, Buenos Aires to Lima layover for 4 hours, Lima to Atlanta to Kansas City, arrives Monday, June 15th at 11 a.m. And then the second flight leaves on so Kansas City, Denver, layover in Denver, 50 minutes, Denver to Dallas. We arrive at 7 o'clock. So we just need to know the 15th to the 20th stay in Kansas. So 15th, and we check out on the 20th. That's when we have to leave. 1 traveler, 1 room. Let's search. All right, let's go with a general, let's stay close to the airport for this. Here are some recommended hotels from the search results. So we can see here $229 per night. $341 per night, $506 per night, $700 per night, and so on and so forth. Let's check the map to see what's available near the airport. So here's the airport, and then these are the closest hotels. Now these prices are the total for all the nights we're going to be staying. So, you know, 2,000, 3,000, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. There you go. And then the more we get into the city, the more expensive it gets. 10,000, 63,000, 20,000. So let's just stay near the airport for this simulation. I think the cheapest was 1,351. That was the Extended Stay America Suites, Kansas City Airport. So let's go with that one. And let's just check in the map where Arrowhead Stadium is the Kansas City match, Argentina versus Algeria, Arrowhead Stadium, and then compared to where the airport is. So the airport is up here. This is Kansas City. We're in the Kansas City map. Here's the airport here. The hotel is going to be somewhere around here, next to the airport to the right. And the Arrowhead Stadium is down here. So you could see the travel distance between the stadium and the airport. All right, so you're going across town. So this, again, will require Uber or whatever transportation system and this is not included. I'm not including that in the budget. So something to think about. So let's go back to the hotel for Kansas City, June 15th to the 20th. I think this does have shuttle service. Free breakfast, free self-parking, free Wi-Fi. And like I said, $229 nightly or $1,351 total. So let's reserve this. And then we have the option of paying now or paying at the property. Let's just pay now to secure it. And then we'll get the price summary so we can put it in our breakdown price sheet for the Kansas City hotel. So 5 nights, 1 room. We check in on the 15th. We check out on the 20th. And then we have the total here, including the taxes and the fees. 1,351. We'll round it to 1,351. $1,351. There you go. All right. So we have the hotels for Kansas City. Now we have to get the hotels for Dallas, Arlington, Texas. So we're going to be leaving. We're going to be arriving in Texas on the 20th. When are we going to be arriving in Texas? We're going to be arriving in Texas in Texas at 7 p.m. June 20th. So we need a hotel checking in for June 20th. And we're going to be staying until the 28th. We need to check out on the 28th morning. All right. So back to hotels. Arlington. June 20th till the 28th. 1 traveler, 1 room. Search. And again, we're gonna use the same standard of near the airport. And then we'll check to see here. We'll put AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So then we can check to see where the stadium is compared to the airport. Okay, so here's the airport and here's the stadium. Again, it's kind of roughly the same across the city, which you're going to need transportation to get to. So let's check the hotels in Arlington, Texas. Let's check the map. So we get a rough idea of where we're staying versus where the stadium is. So search this area. Here we go. So here are some of the hotels near the stadium, the airport. And where was the stadium? The stadium's down here. So here's the airport and the stadium is down here. AT&T Stadium. Okay. So here are the total prices for some of the properties. So 3,000. We have 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, 1,000. Here's another extended stay. So maybe we can continue with the same family of hotels and go with this one since it's very affordable. There's even one that's down here that's 1,200, but it's kind of like a apartment or something. So let's just stick with the Stay America, Extended Stay America. It's an affordable price. It's $151 per night. It's very close to the airport. And since we're going to be staying a long time here, we're gonna use this one. Free self-parking, free Wi-Fi. So it's $151 nightly. It's $1,396 total. So let's reserve that. We'll pay it now to reserve it. Check in on the 20th. Check out on Sunday, June 28th. 8 nights, 1 room. Taxes and fees and a grand total of $1,000. We'll just round it to $1,395. $1,395 USD for the hotels in Texas, Arlington, Dallas, Texas. Okay. Done. And now we need to find tickets for all the 3 matches. All right. We're done with the hotels. We're done with the airfare. Now we need to find tickets. And like I said, we're going to go to StubHub. I don't want to use this as the pricing model, but it's what we have just to get an eyeball number of ideas. These numbers are super inflated. So we're just going to have to take this with a grain of salt and then just see what happens. All right, first match, June 16th, Argentina versus Algeria, 8 p.m., Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. Let's check out the tickets. How many tickets? 1 ticket. Continue. All right, here we go. Now, we're looking for the cheapest tickets, guys, so let's see what they have. 700, 800, 800, 900. Can we sort this for, let's just drop this to... Let's go down. View listings. All right, so the cheapest ticket looks like it was the $700 one. So where are we sitting? That's not bad. It's behind a goal. Category 3. $779. We're up here in the 300 section. You see a view of the picture of how it looks like when you're sitting down. So let's go with this ticket for the first game, Argentina versus Algeria, $779. Let me select it and see if I have any additional fees, which I think let me see, price breakdown. So ticket is $642. Fees are 130. That's a lot for the fees. So your total price is $780. First price is $780 for the first match. Again, $780. Not too bad. From what I heard, is between. I mean, it's high. It is high because I think that the prices, if I'm not mistaken, it's between $180 to $500. So, again, let's take this with whatever we can. We can drop the prices down, but let's just use this number for now and put it in the breakdown. So $780 for the first match, Argentina versus Algeria. Now let's go to game number 2, which is Argentina versus Austria. June 22nd, we're going to Texas, Arlington. Argentina versus Austria. 1 ticket. And then we could see here, these are some crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. But I think the cheapest one is this one, $1,083. Category 3 ticket. You're like on the corner, one of the corner kicks. From this point of view, this looks like there might be some obstruction because of the angle. But like I said, you're up in the nosebleed. So, but $1,083 is crazy. It's a crazy number. It's very, very high. This is super inflated. Like I said, these numbers should be way lower, but this is what we're getting from this site right now. So let's just go with 1,083. USD. And then we're going to get the final ticket. Argentina versus Jordan, June 27th. Let's see tickets. This is also in Arlington AT&T Stadium. 1 ticket. And it looks like the cheapest ticket is category 3, $1,064. Same spot, same area. So $1,064. All right, so now let's add up the entire breakdown. Let's start off with the airfare, $3,167, plus hotels in Kansas City, $1,351, plus the hotels in Dallas, $1,395, plus the ticket versus Argentina versus Algeria, plus $780, plus the ticket for Argentina versus Austria, $1,083, plus the last ticket, Argentina versus Jordan, $1,064. And we get a grand total of $8,840 US for the follow Argentina group stage only, 1 person, and this does not include no transportation, no food, drinks, or other expenses. All right. So there's your total. Let me know what you guys think. This is only for a person coming from Argentina. So we're looking at almost, $9,000. And if we do want to add expenses, let's add, I would say, another $2,000 for expenses, just to get an eyeball of what you're going to be spending for transportation, food, and other things. All right. So $10,000 would be the eyeball final price for the FIFA World Cup 2026 estimation, follow my team like Argentina. Let me know what you guys think. Where are you coming from? If you're going to be following any team, are you going to be going to the World Cup? Who are you going to be following? Or you're just going to be watching on television like the rest of the world? Let me know.